Hey, well, hello everyone out there in YouTube land. I hope that everybody is doing well. I'm doing pretty good, can't complain. So today I'm going to be making a bone broth, a beef bone broth. It's been a while since I made a bone broth. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I'm making a bone broth. I was getting ready, I had been planning. I said, okay, I need to make another broth, another vegetable broth or stock or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I need to make a bone broth. So I said, let me make a beef bone broth. I was actually going to make beef and chicken, but they didn't have all of the, where I went that at that point in time, they didn't have all of the chicken parts that I needed. So I said, well, I got the beef. Let me just do one anyway because it's not like I got a whole lot of room in the freezer to keep this right now anyway. So I am making a beef bone broth today, and I'm going to be using my Instant Pot. Now this Instant Pot, fortunately and or unfortunately, is not also a pressure cooker. It is an 11-in-1 multi-cooker or multi-function cooker and whatnot, but it unfortunately does not have a pressure cooker. Although I do have a pressure cooker, manual pressure cooker, really good pressure cooker. So I'll be using this today, and this is holds 8 quarts, which is just about what I have containers for and what I expect anyway. So I'm going to be like I said, it's going to be beef. This is a beef bone broth, not stock, but it's a bone broth. So and we all know the beautiful benefits of bone broth, and whatnot. And if you don't, leave a question down in the comment section. And I'm sorry if you are tilted a little bit, because I have you on the tripod and for some reason it's tilted. But nonetheless, if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comment section, because I will I'll address them then if I don't answer some questions already. So I have like about 5 pounds of bones here. I have marrow bones, and these are, look at the size of the marrow inside of there. The marrow is, all of that surface area is marrow. So that's what's going to be leaching out into our bone broth. So I just have 4 of those, and they're heavy too, really heavy bones. I have 4 of those. I have 3 oxtails, cow tails, whatever you want to call them. And I don't know why I didn't get, well, they only had 2, and so I just 2 packages at that point. So I just got 1 package of them, and they look really nice. If you saw my haul, my Mariano's haul, I'll link that, and you'll see them, how they're packaged and how much I paid for them, because I think I added the prices. And they look great. Nice, big, meaty, juicy oxtails. And I'm really surprised because a couple of weeks ago I was at the store, and I'm not even sure which store I was at, and I saw some oxtails, and they were cheap as ever. And I was like, And then went and did something else in the store and forgot about them, because I could have came back, because oxtails are so expensive for what, I don't know. They didn't used to be so expensive, but oxtails are very expensive now. And this is just a regular soup bone, which is, you look at all of that surface, that is bone and marrow and everything, and it's got a lot of meat and fat. So what I'm going to do, I shouldn't have touched all of that. Give me a minute, let me wash my hands off, please. But what I'm going to do first to get started is to roast the bones. I'm going to roast the bones, not the bones, excuse me. I'm going to roast the oxtails just for an hour at 350, about 350. I'm going to roast those, and then but before that, or not before that, give me a minute. But also with doing that, I want to let my bones soak in the instant pot, for an hour. So while the oxtails are roasting in the oven for that hour, I will also have the, what do you call these? The bones sitting, soaking in the Instapot. So give me a minute here. I should put this in a sheet pan, but I don't have a small sheet pan, and I only have these three. So these seem like they should be able to fit in here okay. Let's see. Yeah, this should be okay. As long as I don't want them touching, I don't want them to cook. I just want them to kind of roast a little bit. Uh-oh. You look. Y'all better be still. Okay. So I got these in here. The oven is already preheated and already ready. So I'm going to just slide these in there. No seasoning or anything. We just want to let them get a little head start. And you know, just to, you know what I mean? It's going to give it a little gravity, a little depth, not a little depth. That's what it's going to do. So I'm just going to put those in there. Okay, that's there. Then we're going to put our, let me put this to the side. We're going to put our bones, all 5 of them, into the slow cooker. Uh-oh. No malfunctions. Okay. I'm going to put those into the slow cooker, and I'll show you the next step. Uh-oh. Oh, Lord. So, and I got them standing up, but I'm going to lay them down inside of the pot. So, and this is the last one. I might just do this with my hand. I'm next to the sink. I might as well. And I see a little piece in here. And I'm just going to add these little, what do you call it? The blood. We joke around here. It's blood, but we call it blood. I'm just going to sit this here for now because I have something in the sink that I don't want it to get contaminated. So, I need to, because where that fell, I want to rinse that off a little bit. Just got a little bleach and essential oils in there. I just want to wipe this up a little bit where that meat fell. So yeah, so I have them inside, and what I want to do, and I just laid them down. I'm just going to wipe my hands a little bit on this. So I laid them down, and they're just inside of here. And what I'm going to do is let me just give you the little caveat or the surprise or the feature of the way I'm doing this bone broth differently is I have it on authority because you know bone broth. Bone broth is something that you cook or allow to simmer for 24, 48, some people go 72 hours. I have it on authority that if I take this 12 hours, only 12 hours, this will become more gelatinous. And that gel, the gelatin is what we need that soothes, and heals our intestines, which also does what it goes out through our whole body and heals. So I'm going to only be cooking this or simmering this for 12 hours. And you know how it's going to start. It's going to start on high for an hour. Then the remainder of the 12 hours is going to go on a low. Okay? So what I have to do that with is I have some water, and I'm just going to put the water in here to cover it. So, but before I put the water in, I just want to cover it. Like I said, just want to cover it. But before I put the water in, what I want to do is I'm going to use, some people, they use apple cider vinegar. I'm not big on the taste of apple cider vinegar in some of my foods, and I really want this. I'm just going to, because I'm going to be using this in foods, but I'm also going to be sipping it by itself. So what I'm going to do is use, I'm going to use some cooking wines. I have masala, and I have just a regular red cooking wine. So, did I say masala? Masala. So I'm just going to use, I think I'm going to use 2 cups. And now I could use one or the other, but I kind of want to see if it's going to be any, how it is going to taste if I add both. So I'm going to put in, let me even, did I make, yeah. So I'm going to pour in here, and this is some strong wine. It smells like liquor. So I'm going to pour this, the marsala in. That was just a cup. Actually, that's really not how you measure liquids, though, but it's right. Sorry about that, guys. So that's a bad teaching. You're supposed to use a liquid measuring cup. So anyway, and a cup of, although I haven't filled it to the top, of the red wine. Then I'm just going to pour enough water in here just to cover the bones. And what I'm doing here, as you know, it's an acid, and the purpose of this acid is so that these whatever is in it, like the marrow and the tendons and whatever, will just start breaking down. It's kind of giving it a head start for the cook. So for an hour, I'm just going to let this sit in here. This water is splashing just to cover it, and that's what I have in here. This was just enough. There it is. Enough to cover the bones. So, and oh, by the way, if possible, use filtered water. Use a bottled water or some type of water that is filtered. I used water that was filtered. If you are going to use water from the tap, if you can let it sit out maybe 2 to 4 hours, after pour it, put it in your vessel or whatever you're going to use. Let it sit for a few hours, I think, and let that chlorine dissipate from it. So basically, we're done here for now. The oxtails are in the oven for 1 hour. These will be sitting for 1 hour in the meantime. So I will come back and show you the next step once the hour is up, and I'll be back. Okay, so it has been 1 hour, one wonderful hour where I powered my way through. I got some things done. I'm starting a pasta sauce. I'm using just what do you call these things? Eggplant, dried tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, little onion, of course, garlic, and lemon basil, and some peppers, a variety of my dehydrated peppers, hot and sweet. So it's done. And I cleaned out the refrigerator too. I got a lot done. So anyway, and again, these have been soaking for an hour. I haven't even looked in, and this really smells different, And I did add more because, as I showed you, I was using the dry measurement instead of the liquid measurement. So I added a little bit more to make up for what I did not. I used half and half, both of them. So and it smells delicious up in here. Fun fact about me: beef is my favorite meat. That is really my all-time, my ultimate favorite. I love a good steak, a good roast. Yes, and of course, fish is next. Different types of fish, but fresh and canned. But yeah, so it's not really coming across on the camera good, but nonetheless, this is what it's looking like. It smelled awesome. Oh my goodness. And this got a nice little stuff down in the bottom. What's the majigum? So all I'm going to do now is put this over in. Uh-oh. Almost. This is hot. I just took it out. I almost forget. Well, I'm using the wrong thing anyway. I'm not even using the pot holder. Okay, That's a little better. So anyway, just gonna put those in. Oh my goodness. I really need to take a bite of one of these. Just a piece. But I'm going to wait. I bought a nice roast. So I'm going to cook that very soon anyway. So basically what I'm going to do, of course, is get this fond out of here. You know, don't ever say, oh, that's burnt, or that's, unless it's really burnt. Don't use it if it's really burnt. But this is flavor. This is flavor. So let's deglaze this. And make sure we put this in here because we want this to be as flavorful as possible. And I know some of it is oil, but nonetheless, you know, one of the steps is that we defat the what do you call it? The stock or the broth. So it's all good. So I put that in there. There's not really much in here. I wish I had waited to do the put that what's the jigum in there actually. So I'm just gonna add a little tiny bit of water just so that I can get the remainder of what's in here out. Yep, that's how you do it. You know, normally we make a good gravy with this, or we put it in the freezer for, you know, another time to use. But everything is going in here today. So that's how we roll. We don't waste anything, and you know. And it's not poverty, it's wisdom. I have some, so I've deglazed this. You see now you can't even see where things were. So let me pour that in. Put it to the side. I have some of my neighbors who think that gardening, when they see me or when they kind of turn their nose up a little bit, because they think that gardening, let me move my trivet out the way. They think that gardening is poverty. It's like, what is wrong with you? And I think about that because I always, you know, like, now if anything worse come to worse, where do you think they're gonna come when they need food? Okay, enough said. So what I have here are my aromatics. I have, you know, and I got these out of my freezer. I meant to do this yesterday, so I got these are from my freezer, and they have thawed, so they're gonna be looking uglier than they already were because they're just scraps. They're pieces of things when I'm cooking, and I have stuff left over. What do? You put it in the freezer. Just pieces and parts of the stuff. And do I cut off? No, I don't cut off anything. I want it all. And you know, onion, just some onion, skin, root, and everything is going in here. Some ugly carrots. You know, I have, you know, pieces and all of this stuff. So I have a kind of a balanced ratio of onion, of celery. I have lots of celery down here. I even have some lovage, and these are from my garden. Some of the carrots and some of the lovage and celery. This like I said, it was in the freezer. It was looking better than this, but some lovage and celery are all down in here. So all of these are going inside. Well, let me put my spices in first. So I just have 3 laurel bay leaves. I'm just going to put 3 laurel bay leaves in of average size. This is the largest. And then you got these 2. Smells good. Put those in. And then I have peppercorns. And I have like a tablespoon of peppercorns. And these are the pink, the red, the white, the green, and the black peppercorns. Just going to put those over in And you know how I make my stock. I never put my stock or broth, whichever. I never put salt in it. Salt is for when I'm using it for whatever I'm using it for. So that's when I will put some salt in my broth. I should have showed you. Let me see if I can show you what this is looking like. So this is what it looks like. I don't know if I should put my what's my chicken on the light, but nonetheless, so that's what it's looking like. And you see, I just have it enough to water or liquid in there to cover what's in there. You don't want more than that because you don't want this to be watery or whatever. And you don't want to put on top of that. These vegetables have what in them? The percentage of them is water. So I'm definitely not going to add. Sorry guys. I'm definitely not going to add more than that in here. So, and again, I'm using my Instapot, which is an 11-in-1 multi-cooker, but it does not have the pressure cooker function on it. Lots of ugly vegetables, but they're going to be so delicious inside of here. So delicious. I hope the carrot, I don't have too many carrots. I might, because I don't want to, sometimes, carrots can do their own thing. Plus, another thing I'm going to be adding in here is pepper. I do want some peppers in here. So I didn't have, I do have some dehydrated. And the ones that I dehydrated from last year are very bitter. I need to go through it to see which ones may not be as bitter. But they're bitter, so I'm definitely not putting those in there. I cannot afford for this bone broth to turn out badly because of that. But I do have some frozen bits and bobs, tops and bottoms of some peppers. So I'm just going to use, hopefully they're okay, tops and bottoms of some different peppers, some red ones and greens. So I'm going to put those over in here. I mean, they probably won't make a big difference, but I love peppers. I love the taste and the flavor of peppers in my various meals and creations and things of that nature. So I'm going to just throw those over in there, and every bit and piece is going to matter, including the seeds, because the seeds should have a good taste in them. So, as I mentioned, I have it on authority that the most gelatinous broth that we can make will come from us going for 12 hours versus anything longer. I should have been taking pictures along the way. But so there we are. And I'm just going to add just a little. I really shouldn't though. No, I'm not going to add any water. I'm going to submerge these a little bit. Let's see how I can. Yes, I'm using my hands. They're clean. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, because I don't want to have too much water in here. I really want this to be a really gelatinous, gelatin-filled, delicious, nutritious, nourishing, nutrient-dense bone broth. Plus, I really don't need any water anyway, because there's like an inch head space that's left up in there, so I didn't need water. So I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if it's showing. So just gonna see all of the settings here. So all of the settings. So I have slow cook. I don't know if you're seeing that. I hate that this. So that's slow cook. So it's already on an hour. So what I'm going to do is let it cook, slow cook on high. Yeah. Yeah, temperature. Yep, there we go. So it's on high and it's going to cook for 1 hour. Is that the alarm? Yeah. So it's going to cook for 1 hour on high, and then once it has come to a boil or whatever, then I'll lower it and we'll go from there. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this here because, truth be told, this thing is wild. It's hot. It gets so hot it goes crazy, and of course that steam is will go, start bumping into my cabinetry. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens. So I'll see you guys in an hour. Hey, here we are. Should have been 12 hours by now. So we're going to look together before I set up my straining department. So let's see what we got. And it smells amazing. I was like, oh my goodness. Is there anything I could taste out of this? Because it was almost like some type of beef stew, but more gorgeous. I was like, oh, this is looking lovely. I mean, smelling lovely. So let's see what we have. So it looks like the things are spent more than, spent. They've been spent or utilized or whatever. So it's not as dark as I imagined. It's not as dark as I imagined. But again, to recap, it's only gone 12 hours versus 24 plus hours. And remember to compensate for that, I did pre-preparations, which was to roast the oxtails for an hour, and then also to put the bones in with water and some, an acid, which I used a red cooking wine as well as a masala. I used 2 cups of 1 cup each, but of those. So that was to compensate for the time. So, but I believe that we should have something. I see some, a heavy oiliness, or or it should be a gel anyway. So what we're going to do, I just wanted to see one of the bones. And also, the plus of this is that these bones will be reusable. You don't throw these away. You only use them for 12 hours. So they are good for another 12 hours. So we're going to decant these or remove these bones, and I'm going to, let them cool and everything. And of course, I'm going to freeze these so that they be, I can use them again. So anyway, give me a little time so that I can set up. If you're at all familiar with bone broth, you will know that after the bone broth is done and everything has given up the ghost, whether it's the bones or the vegetables, they'll be so soft and disintegrated almost. These are not by any means soft. So like I told you before, as far as my bone broth was going to go, I was going to do a second one. So I decided I'm going to do it the same day. See, look at the, what's the majigum? There's so much marrow still left inside of there. What I'm going to do is probably poke that out and then place it in and whatnot. But lots of gelatin and cartilage and good meat and whatnot just still here. Yeah, I want this to disintegrate. I don't know if I should let it go longer. Look at this one with this delicious marrow inside of here. Oh gosh, oh yum yum yum, so soft and whatnot, ready to come out. It could plop out probably. Yeah, see it moving, it's coming out. It's coming out the other end. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just do it right now since because I'm trying to get, 6 or 8 quarts. So I know that the first batch won't get that much. So I'm getting ready to put it in again, guys. Talk to you in a bit. Okay, guys, so I am back again. Sorry I didn't come back for after the 12 hours, or I either lost the footage. Neither did I show you guys how I strain it, but I basically use a strainer and a Muslim cloth to do my straining. But I'll show you that. I think it's in another. I'll leave the link to the other to my vegetable uh, broth video. So everything turned out good. So as I was mentioning, I was going to do the second batch the same day. I might as well have. So these are the first ones, and I'll show you a picture. Try to put a picture in of how it looked so beautiful when the first batch was done. So this is the first batch, and they actually look very you know, it hasn't been in the freezer. It's just been in the fridge, just so that I can remove the fat from it. But it looks like it's pretty gelatinous. But we'll check in a minute. So yeah, it's just they look. They kind of getting a little, whatever it's called. They just came out the fridge. But anyway, yep. So I only basically got 3 and a quarter from the first batch. And that's to be expected because there was a lot of vegetable, a lot of meat, and it was an 8-quart vessel, but it didn't hold, it didn't get that up to that. I didn't fill them up, of course. So that's what I got. So that's why I said, well, let me just go ahead and do the second batch, since I was going to I was doing a chicken and a beef. That was my goal. I was going to use another crock pot to do the next one. So, but this one is darker, but the aromatics were different too. Some were the same, but some were not. But they're very liquidy, so they, very fluid. They didn't. This one may have. I'm not sure yet. This one may be gelatinous, but I'm not sure. So what we're going to do, I need to remove the fats, and then I'm just going to taste them with you guys. Let me see if I'll use a fork or a knife. A spoon. So yeah, so I'm going to, and I put the dates on here so I would know which 4. So I got 4, good size ones from the second, and 3 and about a third, is that a third? Not a third, but, so, and then, I gotta show you, I know I show you guys this all the time, but I love this mayo, and then, not just I love the mayo, I also love the containers. I love to keep these containers. So yeah, I love this. It stays thick. I know a lot of us, we make our own mayo, but when you're not making your own mayo, this is I like that it stays thick, it's creamy. A lot of mayos, you scoop out of it, and the next thing you know, it's runny or watery. I don't know what was going on with them. And, the ingredients are not too bad and whatnot. So, yeah, I'll be right back. Let me put this in the fridge. Yeah. And Heinz, if you're listening, you can send me a few coins or whatever. I can, support this for now. Anyway. So yeah, let me see. I'm gonna take some from this one. I think this one is this gelatinous. Let's see. And they smell awesome. I did open them to smell them. Smell them. Oh my goodness, it smells so awesome. Let me get the something so that I can remove the fat. And I will be keeping this fat because this fat is going to be good for stuff. You can, oh yeah, it is. Oh, look at me messing up. It is gelatinous, but yeah, you can use this to saute things, fry stuff. But you gotta kind of cook it down a little bit. But give me a minute, cause I just wasted some. So. Okay, so I got that off of there. Make sure you get all of your stuff off of here, your broth. Don't let your broth go to waste, because Yeah, it smells good though. So it's pretty cloudy. I strained it twice because I just realized when I was doing this that I had given away the strainer that I would normally use for straining. I gave that away, so I had to use um, another strainer that another strainer plus the what's-majigum. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm sorry. I was just getting ready to start picking out all of the what's-majigum, the fat. But so, uh-oh, sorry. Okay, so let's get one. This looks so liquidy though. I thought I saw one that wasn't. That this one doesn't look like it. No, well, nonetheless, let's see. So, I'm going to take this off. Gotta break it in two or more. Clean hands. I have clean hands. Okay, now put this one in here. It's just gonna taste it. So yeah, this one is. I see a little kind of thickness to it, but it's not the same as the other one. I just want to taste it. So let me just do a little warm up in the microwave. Now this one is, I see somebody in here. This is the day 2, or the second batch. And this is the first batch. If you can see, it's more gelatinous, and then the colors are different. Let me put these in the microwave. And I hope those, the glass I have it in is microwavable. Those came with some desserts. One of my favorite desserts, key lime pies, or key lime cheesecakes. They were, whichever one. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna taste them like this first. Then I'll taste them. Well, I'm not gonna worry about salt. I was thinking I would try them with some salt. But yeah, so let's see what happens. Yeah, this one is a little, and it smells so good though. Hot. This is nice. Very clean. And I know I tasted it before when it first came out, but I want to taste it again. This one tastes different too. Almost like, I can't put my finger on it, but it's beefy though too. It's can't put my finger on it. They both taste quite different. But I do enjoy this one more. Yeah, I do. It almost tastes like it has salt in it or something. But anyway, so this is the this is it. So I guess the first, when you do it for 12 hours, it does. I guess it does come out more gelatinous and richer. So, these are so good. I'm going to be really enjoying this. My next one, I think I'll either do beef or chicken. I did save the beef bones again because I'm going to reuse them. I'll probably, of course, add some more to them. Maybe some neck bones and stuff like that. But, yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. So, these are good for soups, for stews, just for drinking by themselves. Very nourishing. For gravies. Just for a lot of different things. So I'm getting ready to get the fat off of them and then I'll put them away in the freezer. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and look out for the next one once these are gone. I'll be doing, some either chicken or the beef, but we'll see. But let me know which one you'd like to see, because I'll, like I said, they didn't have everything I needed for the chicken. So I said, well, they had everything for the beef. Let me just do one. It's not like I had room in the freezer anyway. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put these away and stop talking so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you very much. Thank you so much for joining us today. Love you. Bye-bye for now.